This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Only on RTV6, an Indianapolis teenager opens up about trying to stop a disturbing trend, the growing number of first responders who are taking their own lives.
The 16-year-old is unfortunately familiar with the aftermath of suicide after losing his brother.
RTV6's Cameron Riddle spoke with that teen and his mother who planned to make a difference with a meal.
Suicide prevention and depression is not often a common topic around American dinner tables, but this weekend you can have that very conversation and a meal, all in support of first responders who sometimes need help themselves.
What 16-year-old decides, hey, I want to raise money so that people don't have to feel the way that we feel?
That 16-year-old is Amy Clegg's 10th grade son, Elijah. He's raising money for mental health and suicide prevention programs for Indiana's first responders. Their family is familiar with both fighting fire and suicide.
Suicide is a big part of my life because I unfortunately lost my brother, and I know a few others who have unfortunately attempted, but I've gotten them help and I've tried to help them out as much as I can.
Stepping in and helping out is the mission of this firefighter's son and grandson after witnessing the frequent trauma first responders go through when they respond to a 911 caller's worst day.
I've just talked to him like, isn't this hard? How do you keep going? How do you, you probably have patients dying in your ambulance and you just keep going. And I'm like, and they tell me, we have people that talk to us, we take medicines, we treat ourselves, and we also treat others. Before we treat others, we have to treat ourselves. That's the #1 thing they tell me.
Treating first responders is the purpose behind Clegg's first annual cookout this Sunday from 1 to 5, the Firefighter Union Hall on Mass Ave. Clegg says the $7 price tag for hamburgers, hot dogs, live music, and a good time is a small price to pay to help create big benefits for suicide prevention and the local Union 416 Firefighter Support Fund.
2017, we now have more firefighters die by suicide than line of duty deaths. So it is real. It's a issue. That's why we started our peer support team.
Elijah Clegg says for now, he has no plans to follow in his family's footsteps and become a firefighter. But his mom will tell you, Elijah is still saving lives.
He is very much a hero in my book.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And Elijah's cookout will be hosted at the Indianapolis Firefighters Local 416 Union Hall at 748 Massachusetts Avenue in downtown Indy. That is this Sunday starting at 1 p.m.
New at 11, the two Indianapolis mayoral candidates went head-to-head tonight for the first time before the November election. The relaxed hour-long debate remains civil as Democratic Mayor Joe Hogsett and Republican State Senator Jim Merritt discussed the issues. Merritt and Hogsett went back and forth on roads, poverty, economic development, and the city's crime rate.
The point is, progress is being made, and it's because of the investments that we have made over the last 4 years that I think change is coming.
It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. You've had 3.5 years. What you're doing is not working.
The next mayoral debate will be on October 28th. At that debate, Libertarian candidate Douglas McNaughton will also join Hogsett and Merritt on the stage. Election Day, by the way, is November 5th.
Starting tomorrow, drivers will see something they have not seen in more than 2.5 years. The Central Avenue Bridge over Fall Creek will be open by afternoon rush hour. That is according to a tweet from the Department of Public Works. The bridge closed in January of 2017 after it started to fall apart. DPW hoped to open it in July, but the work was not done yet.
Public transportation in Indianapolis will look a lot different starting in 3 days. The Indigo Red Line rapid transit route starts on Sunday. RTV6 is working for you, helping you prepare for traffic changes that come with the new system. One big change for drivers, a median on a stretch of Meridian Street and designated intersections where you can turn left or make a U-turn. This makes it more difficult to get to some businesses and apartments like the Marriott, where Sarah Gerken lives.
The day the buses were practicing, and as I was trying to get into the apartment, over the tracks, of course, a bus was coming by, practicing, being in the route, whatever, but luckily I looked and saw them. They weren't slowing down, so I would have been hit.
It really does come down to safety, both being able to keep the buses moving frequently and reliably, but also, kind of reducing some of those potential interactions with the vehicle and a bus.
Right now, Indigo does not plan to add signs telling drivers not to drive over the medians. For more guidance on how to navigate the red line, go to the RTV6 app and click on this story.
Now to the forecast. Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts is working for you, helping you plan your Friday.
And Amanda, it looks like things are going to be pretty nice here as we wrap up the work and school week and get ready to head into that holiday weekend. This evening, temperature's still mild. It's 72 degrees, a little bit on the muggy side, but not bad. We still have that south breeze around 10 miles per hour. You can see on the big picture here, we continue to have these clouds streaming in. That's from that complex of showers and storms back into portions of Missouri. But the rain is going to stay away. You also notice there's some rain off to the north. Not going to have to worry about any of that as you head out the door in the morning. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, and those clouds are going to keep our temperatures mild. We're in the upper 60s as you head out the door. Rain chances, they're there tomorrow, but they are fairly small and isolated. Only about 20% here as we go through the daylight hours of your Friday. And that's going to be the theme here over the next couple of days. A daily but small chance for rain. We'll talk about that, the mild into August, and that holiday weekend forecast in a few minutes.
New at 11, police have made an arrest in connection to a deadly hit and run on the west side of Indianapolis. A driver hit a motorcycle on Washington and Denison streets on Tuesday last week, severely injuring Elijah Johnson and killing Bobby Joe Caldwell. Family members told RTV6 the driver left the scene while the couple begged for help. The person arrested has not been identified. Westside business owners want to know if you recognize the person in this surveillance video. They believe he's behind a break-in Sunday morning at Midwest Motors on West 10th Street near Girls School Road. The owner says the break-in caused around $1,000 worth of damage. If you have information, you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 317-262-TIPS.
Now to another reminder about a deadly but preventable animal virus spreading across central Indiana. Canine parvovirus is highly contagious. A pet rescue organization in Mooresville called the Four-Legged Ranch had to send 2 of its puppies to an animal hospital because they contracted the disease. That's why volunteers are spreading the message of the importance of getting your dogs vaccinated.
It's so preventable, but this is a deadly disease that is preventable by a vaccine. And I think the biggest thing that we'd like to stress is there are low-cost vaccine clinics out there, and low cost does not mean low quality.
Indianapolis Animal Care Services recently closed the shelter for a day to deep clean as precaution to prevent parvo from spreading. And a reminder, IACS adoptions are free for the rest of the month. That includes microchipping, vaccines, and spay-neuter. The shelter is on Harding Street, south of Raymond on the southwest side.
The state is doing more to educate people about the dangers of electronic cigarettes and prevent addiction. Today at Fishers High School, the Department of Health announced a new strategy to reduce vaping, specifically among young people in Indiana. Vaping among high school students has increased by nearly 400% since 2012. That's according to a new study.
We will be rolling out school-based training for educators, students, and parents to increase the understanding of the health risks of vaping. We'll be launching a new texting feature so that kids who want help stopping e-cigarettes, and we know that there are already very many addicted students out there to e-cigarettes and the nicotine in them.
The initiative also includes a website and social media campaign. This comes amid a nationwide outbreak of respiratory illnesses linked to vaping. The Centers for Disease Control is investigating 200 cases around the country, including at least 24 in Indiana.
A police department in Johnson County is going green in a big way. Today, the Bargersville Police Department unveiled a new squad car. It's a Tesla 3. The chief says Bargersville is the first police department in the country with the all-electric Tesla. He says it will save taxpayers money compared to a standard gasoline-powered car. Now, the council is considering similar ways to save money.
One of the council members wants to try to do some renewable energy stuff at the new police department, which would essentially knock that electricity savings down to zero if you're charging off the sun majority of the time.
Exactly how much money this car will save is still unclear. The chief says the department will be keeping close track.
Did you know you do not need a college degree to work in the dental industry? Coming up, a Central Indiana program that's helping high school students go from classroom to the dentist office.
And Wizards unite. Why thousands of Harry Potter fans are set to descend on downtown Indianapolis. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
With more work to do. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
And And tonight at 11, we continue to track Hurricane Dorian, which is now a Category 2 hurricane with max winds of 105 miles per hour. It's north of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic and still has sights set on Florida here. Expected to become a major hurricane, a Category 3 tomorrow, and possibly a Category 4 before making landfall on the eastern coast of Florida here, the central coast, as we go through the day on Monday. Could have max winds of 140 miles per hour, and then as it weakens, kind of hangs out and could potentially bring some very heavy rainfall and flooding conditions to the Sunshine State.
And people across Florida are already stocking up ahead of Dorian. Two common sights in the state are empty shelves in grocery stores and long lines at gas pumps. The governors of Florida and Georgia have declared a state of emergency in preparation for the storm. Residents are hoping for the best but planning for the worst.
I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather be able to be self-sustainable than, just be kind of stuck without power.
Saturday, I'm going to put my shutters up. The praying has already begun.
The governor of Florida says 1 million gallons of drinking water and over 1 million meals will be available across the state, but people should plan to have their own food and water for 7 days. And today, President Trump canceled a trip to Poland as the hurricane approaches Florida.
And the Trump administration is making more changes to legal immigration. ABC's Serena Marshall reports the White House is eliminating a program that allows legal immigrants to extend their stay in the U.S. while receiving life-saving medical treatment.
For more than a year, Serena Badia has been receiving treatment for her heart condition at Boston Children's Hospital.
Here, the technology is more advanced, and the doctors are the best and are able to cure me and treat me, not like in Spain.
At only 14, she's already undergone 5 heart surgeries and 16 catheterizations and has already survived longer than her doctors in Spain predicted. But now the Trump administration ordering her and several others receiving life-saving treatment removed from the country.
Yes, it's very scary.
She and her family, who are here legally, received a letter like this, ordering them to leave the country in 33 days after applying to extend Serena's treatment.
Agencies are supposed to announce policy changes. USCIS, in this case, they didn't do that. They just started denying applications.
Those denial letters, which say the U.S. no longer considers these requests, coming as a shock to the family. Democrats calling the move sinful.
His newest target is children. Children who are on life supports, children dying of cancer, children with serious diseases.
The decision just the latest policy change in legal immigration in recent months. But this one could literally mean life or death for these patients.
We don't know what to do because we don't want to be illegal here. I need to come back in the future.
A spokesman for USCIS said this isn't the end of the program, simply the agency in charge of handling these requests is now different, deferring to ICE. But an official with ICE said the enforcement agency wasn't even aware in the change in policy until reports surfaced in the press. Now those impacted are deciding if a lawsuit will come next. Serena Marshall, ABC News, the White House.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative is showing you no industry is too big to go from classroom to career. Students in Bartholomew County are building homes, baseball complexes, and more. They're in the C4 program at Columbus North and Columbus East High Schools. Students in the architecture phase design ideas, and students in the construction phase make some of those ideas come to life. Instructors say the course prepares kids for a variety of careers.
Even though we focus kind of on architecture and focus on carpentry, our kids go all different avenues once they leave us.
And I'm taking the construction class this year so that I know like the manual labor and everything, and I know how to do stuff. I kind of want to do construction management in college and in the future if that works out.
Students can earn college credit as well as national construction and OSHA certifications through the program. Now to the Anderson Career Center, where students are getting a head start in the dental industry. They learn the basics about dental vocabulary and equipment. The class is part lecture and part hands-on training. Students can get hired as dental assistants right after graduating from the program.
So that's the beauty of that. They do not have to go to college. Now, if they want to do hygiene, they would have to go to college, of course, a dentist. But there's still a pathway because sometimes they might want to work as a dental assistant for a year or two and think, you know what, I want to have more responsibility, I want to make more income, and then they can, apply to a college.
Students also do externships shadowing local dental professionals. To learn more about any career-related story you see on RTV6, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
Prepare to see cloaks, magic wands, and maybe lightning bolts in downtown Indianapolis over the weekend. Thousands of Harry Potter fans from around the world are expected to crowd White River State Park for the first ever Wizards Unite Fan Festival. The event is all about the new Wizards Unite augmented reality game. Similar to Pokemon Go, it features a real-world map with items to collect for battle.
What players will do is, through the Harry Potter Wizards Unite app and their cell phone, they will navigate through the park and experience different things that they never had before. They will be sent on a quest specific to White River State Park, where they will experience dragon eggs and spider eggs and the beautiful greenhouse that's right behind us.
The festival starts Saturday. You can find ticket info by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
Spider eggs.
Sounds
Spider
That's great. Heebie-jeebies, but it sounds really fun.
Sounds really fun. We may have a few real lightning bolts here as we go through the next couple of days. Some small chances for a few thunderstorms. We're all quiet, though, in central Indiana tonight. We got that temperature at 72 in Indy, 73 in Kokomo and Bloomington at 71 degrees. Still a little bit breezy. That southwest wind around 10 to 15 miles per hour overnight tonight. Instead of the 50s, we'll only fall back into the middle 60s as we keep that southwest breeze and the clouds around. Taking you hour by hour through your Friday forecast now, and we'll notice more cloud cover than what we had today. Still a lot of dry time here in this forecast as temperatures will make their way to around 80 for that afternoon high. Average high is 83, so we'll be right around there. 81 for you in Columbus, upper 70s in Peru, and 83 degrees in Bloomington Friday afternoon. Here's TrueCast for your lunch hour, and you'll notice we'll have some clouds, partly sunny skies as we go into the evening rush hour. An isolated downpour is possible, mainly south of Interstate 70, and then by 8 o'clock in the evening, we start to see a little more in the way of some thunderstorm activity rolling in from the west. So we'll keep an eye on these. Right now, we don't have a severe weather risk from the Storm Prediction Center, but some of these storms could have some gusty winds and possibly some hail as they move through tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. At this point, it looks like for Friday football frenzy, just an isolated shower or storm impacting any games out there, mainly south of I-70. We'll have our temperature for kickoff at 78, 73 as we go through the game there. And your weekend forecast really looking pretty good here. We'll keep those temperatures in the lower 80s for the afternoon high, and just an isolated shower or thunderstorm, a little better chance of rain coming our way on Sunday. But again, that's only 30%. 7-day planning forecast now as we put it all together for you there. And there are the very comfortable temperatures through the afternoon. Really not going to get all that humid either here as we get into your Labor Day. Partly sunny skies. Does appear we'll have a dry day from start to finish on Monday. Then as we go through the upcoming week, it looks like we're going to keep that dry trend going. A high of 86. That's the warmest and comes our way Tuesday.
Summer's holding on just a little bit longer.
2 for 2 on nice Friday nights for us there with that forecast.
So good.
Looking forward to that. We'll do high school football tomorrow night. We'll talk about the Colts in just a moment. Big racing weekend around here as well. It's the NHRA's biggest race of the season, and perhaps a chance at a big number for one of these drivers. This guy joins us next.
Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Colts wrapping up the preseason tonight in Cincinnati. Not a ton to take away from the game. Quarterback Chad Kelly did run for this touchdown in the first half. It was the Colts' only entry to the end zone. Kelly 13 of 16 passing, 138 yards. Looked pretty good. 13-6 Indy wins. They held the Bengals to just 2 field goals. Solid showing by the defense, whatever that's worth. On this one, the next 10 days are the important ones. On many levels, the NFL roster cut to 53 is Saturday afternoon. The Colts will also select their practice squad players then. Week 1 preparations will begin handily on Monday, and then next Sunday, September 8th, the regular season opener on the road against the Chargers. And a good Thursday evening, everyone. The 65th NHRA U.S. Nationals are already underway in Brownsburg. There's a chance at a milestone win for funny car driver J.R. Todd this weekend. He's going for an historic three-peat at the Big Go. J.R. stopped by earlier to talk about that and more. It is tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight. The level of competition, it goes up and it goes up. It seems like it took a big jump this year. There are a lot of really, really good teams in funny car in 2019. Does that seem to be the case?
Yeah, it seems like every year, like you said, the competition level rises and rises. And I say that we're not doing well, but after winning the championship and winning the U.S. Nationals again last year, you know, your expectations of yourself and others kind of go up as well. And just, we haven't performed as well as we'd liked up to this point. But looking back, we're kind of in the same spot that we were last year at this time, so we're not in a terrible place.
And you did just fine at the end of 2018 with how that worked out for you. What did you guys learn from that run at the end of last season?
It's a matter of getting hot at the right time of the year, you know, and these guys did it. I say these guys, the DHL Toyota crew, they did it in 2015 with Del Worsham as a driver pretty much at the same time of the year. So they have some really good notes to fall back on at these tracks that we go to. Luckily, we go to all the same races when that playoff starts. And actually, it all starts with, you know, the U.S. Nationals here in Indy. I mean, they've run well there in the past, and we've won the last 2 years and hoping we can do it 3 times in a row now.
Any pressure when it comes to points here? The countdown approaching quickly here. Do you do a lot of math in that? Or you just say, let's just go get out and run the thing as best we can?
That's pretty much all I can do at this point is just go out there and race as hard as I can. I know that I got the best team behind me, but yeah, there's times like I look at the points and I'm stressing over like, man, we're 8th in points right now. I'd rather be 5th in points like we were after the U.S. Nationals, but that's the great thing about it is we got enough time to make up ground in points.
When you see the list of names that have won 3 straight at Indy, that's a short list of Hall of Famers and world-class drivers on that. You kind of look at that and have a whoa moment that you could be putting yourself in that position?
Here lately, there's been a few to remind me, like, hey, I mean, there's only been so many that have ever done this, and nobody's ever done it in the funny car class. So if we could do that, that would be just a dream come true. I mean, and more importantly, I just want to go out there and win just to move ourselves up in the points, like I just said. But at the end of the day, if we have 3 in a row, there's going to be a big celebration on the west side of Indy. I can guarantee you that.
Team shop out there in Brownsburg. Funny car qualifying starts tomorrow night at Lucas Oil Raceway. Same for Top Fuel. They continue Saturday and Sunday. They'll have 5 runs in all in the Nitro class qualifying. The top 16 make the final ladder. The eliminations start Monday morning at 11 right there on Labor Day. Looks like a great weekend for racing out at Lucas Oil Raceway. Fever home against Los Angeles tonight. Indiana had the lead for much of the first half, but the game would swing toward the Sparks with a big third quarter as LA wins at 87-83. Tierra McCowan, the rookie, had another big night for the Fever, 24 points and 10 rebounds. The loss eliminates Indiana from the playoffs. The Fever play at Minnesota on Sunday. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for some high school football. IndyCar in action this weekend as well. Dave First will report for us. We will see you for that then. Back to wrap up tonight's news at 11 after one more break.
Business beyond fast.
Beer pong may never be the same again. Red Solo cups could be replaced with a green option, but not the color green. The drinkable company Ball, which is headquartered in Muncie for decades, is creating reusable aluminum cups. And being environmentally friendly isn't the only bonus. Since the cups are made from aluminum, they'll keep drinks colder longer. The new cups go on sale next month and will cost 25 cents each.
Here's the problem. The target audience for pong players will price out of 25 cents each. They will not spend that money on it. So
the
that's
perk
fair.
is staying cold.
Yeah, that's it. That's fine. They're not concerned about cold either.
Enjoy your new version of beer pong.